Hi, I'm Leslie with Art Insights Animation and Film Art Gallery, and this is the premiere of the Dreams Come True Art of the Classic Fairy Tales from Walt Disney Studios in New Orleans at the New Orleans Museum of Art, which starts with Silly Symphony's artwork. And there's all sorts of wonderful stuff from the Ugly Duckling. Now you're going to see original art from Snow White. There's a Horvath concept piece from Snow White of the Queen. There's all sorts of amazing artwork in this show. If you are a fan of original art from Disney, this is the place for you to come and check out. There are not a lot of original, um, collections of artwork that have been created and put together by the people at the Animation Research Library inside Disney. This is curated by Lela Smith, who is the creative director at the Animation Research Library. And you're going to see people wandering around because it's the night of the premiere, and it was a really exciting night. There's some concept art by Mary Blair in the Cinderella section. There's a lot of Mary Blair in this show. If you're a fan of hers, you're going to want to come and check that stuff out. And then, as I say, there's all of this concept art, things you would never see outside of the Animation Research Library in Disney. So it's a really great opportunity to see more than 600 pieces of original artwork from inside the Disney Studios. And it's so exciting that they're finally really starting to exhibit the original artwork of these artists because there's so much beautiful work. Here's original artwork by Eyvind Earle, who a lot of people are a huge fan of. He has such an influence on the finished look of Sleeping Beauty, and there's so many pieces of his that are in this exhibit. So it's really exciting for those of you who've been collecting or are fans of Disney art and have been for a long time. It actually will make you choke up. It's just such an amazing collection of art. I highly recommend you get the catalog from this museum show on the website for the New Orleans Museum of Art because it's beautiful, it has all sorts of pictures, and it's very informative and educational. You know, Little Mermaid, there's some Kai Nielsen, and that's Glenn Keane's concept art. There is a lot of artwork from Little Mermaid of concept art because they started thinking about what they were going to do for this movie way back in the 1930s. So there's all sorts of really interesting artwork that shows the progression of the way they decided to uh, express this Hans Christian Andersen story through the lens of Disney. And it's really exciting to see. This was one of my favorite pieces in the entire collection. It's exciting to see all of the artwork if you're a big fan. Here's some Beauty and the Beast, of course. And you can get to the show before March 14th. That's how long it's going to be on. So that gives you a bit of time. Here's more concept art. That's a concept of Gaston before he was a finished look. Very different from the way he wound up looking. Here are some maquettes that Ruben Procopio, I'm sure, was involved in because he did maquettes for Beauty and the Beast. And just all sorts of wonderful artwork of that movie. And then here we are at Princess and the Frog, and they have a lot of really interesting images from the creation of this movie and the development of it, which is exciting because it's the return to 2D, and how great is that? And there are two interviews that I did, one with Mark Hahn, one with Ruben Aquino. Mark Hahn did Tiana, and Ruben Aquino did James and Eudora. So if you're interested in the animators and their mindset, you might want to go on my website or on YouTube and see that. I always find it, when I go to one of these exhibits, the colors that they choose for the inside of the museum, it's kind of exciting. And in this particular case for New Orleans, they did some really vibrant colors. This is Mama Odie, definitely one of my favorite characters from that movie. I hope you guys have all seen it. And John Lasseter was such an enthusiastic supporter of creating a movie that is based in New Orleans. And I actually met him during this premiere, which was amazing. I loved him. Many would say that the bayou was its own character in this movie. It was really important to the mood of the film. There, you just saw some work with Bill Schwab, who was one of the character designers of the movie, and you're about to see John Lasseter playing the washboard at the premiere, and it just shows how awesome and amazing he is.
Have you seen it?
I have. I saw it.
And what's your favorite part?
I love the bayou scene. When racing's going down the bayou, it's just gorgeous.
The backgrounds are insane.
And I was just telling him the light that the fireflies create is just magical. So
here's a little bit more from Princess and the Frog, and there's actually also some work that shows the music and the influence of the music over the movie, and of course Randy Newman created some music for that, and he actually grew up as a little kid in New Orleans, so he comes by it honestly. Some books you can buy on Disney Art, and that's the exhibit, and I hope you'll go check it out because it's definitely worth it, and they would love your support, or go on their website or mine. Thanks so much. I'm Leslie with ArtInsights Animation and Film Art Gallery and the Collector's Educational Series. Now go and do something magical and wonderful today. I know I will.